overcoming death grip syndrome and how NoFap and quitting porn can help sexual performance. Hey guys, I'm Dylan and welcome back to the channel, and today I have a subject, and it's quite an unusual one because I don't talk about this very often, but it came up actually during a coaching session with a subscriber, and it was interesting. We spoke about NoFap, we spoke about, watching porn and how that affects your life, how that affects your brain, your mindset. How can you improve your life if you're constantly watching porn, if you're constantly masturbating? And we got into a subject called death grip syndrome, which is quite a new term for me, but I knew the actual meaning behind it. It's just that particular phrase I'd not heard much before. But essentially what we spoke about was death grip syndrome. Just means that when you kind of are excessively masturbating and watching porn, and you've got a very tight grip when you're masturbating, and obviously you're quite rough with the way you do things, and you constantly do that for years and years, then your own sexual performance will suffer because you are so accustomed to a certain type of feeling when it comes to being sexually aroused and masturbating. You're so fixated on that feeling, is that when you finally do have sex, it doesn't feel the same. So death grip syndrome means that you've got a very tight grip when you're masturbating. So when you finally have sex and you penetrate the woman, and you realize that it doesn't feel the same, it actually feels loose, it doesn't feel as tight, you can't feel anything, and therefore you lose your erection and you can't perform. So and the worst thing is the porn also contributes to it, because the porn is making you believe that that's the type of stimulation that you need. This extreme porn, beautiful women, 4 or 5 of them getting, one woman getting gangbanged, and all these different things. You're watching extreme levels of porn, which is kind of training your brain to expect those types of extreme examples. So when you're in a bedroom with a woman on her own, a very natural looking woman, it's so different to what you watch in porn. So you don't know how to respond, because you're only used to the extreme porn examples. And when you want as well, so it's more kind of, as soon as you demand it, you've got it there available on your phone. It's instant. With a woman, it's different. You're kind of going through the process of dating her, of bringing her home, acting like behaving like a high value male, and and it's more of a process. But with porn, you just turn your phone on and you go on the internet, bang, it's all free, it's all available. So you have to kind of really take notice of that, because it's 2 different processes. So the whole thing about death grip syndrome is, simply, you're affecting your sexual experience when you are meeting women. That also is going to increase your anxiety levels, and it's going to make you panic in certain situations. So if you're already inexperienced with women, and then you finally do get a woman, and you find that you can't perform properly because of excessive porn, so you can't even get turned on. And if you do get turned on, as soon as you start having sex, it doesn't feel good because you're constantly thinking about, masturbating. You constantly masturbate, and you've got a certain grip which is tighter, and it doesn't feel the same when you are with the woman. So you've got 2 things going against you, and that's going to make you more anxious. It's going to affect you. It could, cause depression and all of this. So don't think that, masturbating is okay, or watching porn is okay, because it's not natural. It's not a natural thing. It's a fantasy. All right, it's not reality. It's a fantasy. You've got to live in reality. All right, if you want a real, a great successful life, and you have to make that a reality. All right, you can't keep living in the fantasy of having pleasure when you get home by watching porn and masturbating, and then the next day you kind of that kind of buzz, that high is gone that night. As soon as you masturbate, as soon as you climax, that's it. That's the high. It's gone, and you're going to keep repeating that every day. The problem is, you're giving yourself pleasure, but how are you motivating yourself to make your life better when all you're doing is giving yourself a short a few seconds high from masturbating, and and you're doing it every night, so you're looking forward to it. Sex is constantly on your mind. You're always thinking about it. How are you going to improve your life, and how are you getting on your purpose? How are you focusing on being a success and improving and self-improvement and personal growth? How can you focus on that when all of your energy is going on that? And on top of that, when you do finally get a woman, you can't perform, and you're going to be stressed out. You're going to get depressed. You're going to have performance anxiety. It's going to, you're not going to be able to relax. All right, and that's going to affect you in life as well. You're not going to feel like a man. You're going to feel like there's something wrong with you. You've got a problem, when all along you've been doing something for years and years, maybe not years, for at least months, where you've been masturbating, and you've got your own way of doing it. You know how to please yourself when you masturbate. So you've gotten so used to that particular technique that you use, and you can't differentiate that, and you can't transition that into the bedroom with a woman. That's the thing. So what you want to do is you need to obviously cut down on the porn. So maybe not cut it off completely, but at least reduce it. If it was me personally, that's what I did. I actually went cold turkey. I completely stopped, and I just realized that I was wasting my life. I was wasting my time. And this is years and years ago, so I've kind of gotten over that. And obviously when you do the NoFap, when you start stop masturbating and watching the porn, you have more time. Your brain is more free. Your mind becomes free, and you can actually focus on other things. You can read more books. You can do things. Other things start to stimulate you, and then you realize that if you want to have a high quality life, then you cannot have these short-term binges and short-term pleasures that's going to get you through it. It's the same as when people are addicted to drugs, when people are alcoholics, when people are obese and they keep binge eating. It's all these things. They feel depressed in their life. They can't do anything to help to sort the problem out. They can't. They've not got that setting in their brain to improve themselves. So they already feel horrible and terrible about their lives. And what do? They seek short-term pleasure. Oh, I want that chocolate bar, that's going to feel good. I want that burger, oh, that's going to feel good. I want that beer, I want that glass of whiskey. I want those drugs to make me feel better. Once that high's gone, then you need it again, and you need it twice as bad. Because you're used to it. You need something that's going to stimulate you further. Once you become numb to it, you need twice as much to kind of make you more. That's why masturbation can get out of control. It gets to a point where we've got people doing it all the time, every day. They're watching more extreme versions of porn. They're buying products to stimulate them more. All these things, because you get used to it, and these short-term pleasures they wear off. They stop working as well over time. So it's such a thing. It's such one of those pointless things to do when over time it just becomes less effective, and you have to seek better ways of stimulating yourself. So this is the damage that you do to yourself when you're watching porn excessively, when you're masturbating excessively, and the death grip as well. When you're masturbating in such a way where when you finally are with a woman, you cannot feel anything, because you're so used to masturbating in such a rough, aggressive way. So when it comes to the real life situation, it's never ever going to be as stimulating for you, because you've programmed and trained yourself to only respond to that type of feeling and that type of action. So so you've got to be very careful. So if you're someone who is suffering from that, and if you're someone who is antisocial or is an introvert who doesn't really meet people, but you're looking to meet people, you're looking to kind of get out there and improve yourself, that's the number one thing you should do, is stop the porn, or at least cut it down. And I know it's easier said than done. It's not easy, because again, it is a addiction. It does it sends signals to the brain of pleasure, so you can't help it. It's going to make you feel good, but you have to realize that the long-term pleasure in life is much more important. It's much more fulfilling. You get much more out of life that way. So you need the long-term pleasures. Focus on your purpose, focus on learning things, focus on going out and doing activities, and then that way you meet like-minded people. Then you have more of a social life going on. Yeah, so those are the kind of things you should be doing. You should be always striving to be better, not living a mediocre life where you're constantly going to work every day, or going to university, or you're going to college every day, and then you come home and then you masturbate because you've got nothing else going on, and the fact that life's too much for you, you're feeling stressed out, so you need to get some relief. And you need to kind of, you're seeking some short-term pleasure, you're seeking, a high, you're taking drugs, you're drinking alcohol every night, you're eating the wrong types of food. You look after your body. You don't want to do not abuse your body. All right, simple as that. Look after your body, treat it well. Make sure you keep it as healthy as possible. All right, because porn and masturbation is not healthy physically and mentally. All right, and that's one simple message. And with the whole situation with NoFap as well, it's a growing movement. A lot of people are practicing it, and the only time I would say to have any type of sexual interaction is when you're with a woman. Anything that you're going to be doing sexually has to be when you're in the presence of a woman, basically, or because that's what we're trying to do here. We want to make men more masculine. We want to, because sitting at home and rewarding yourself for watching porn isn't masculine. All right, a masculine energy is to go for your purpose in life and focus on what you want to achieve, and that way feminine women will be attracted to that type of mindset. All right, not you sitting at home and looking at women and lusting and fantasizing about women and masturbating. That is not what women are attracted to. So you need to basically forget all that and realize that you're wasting your life, you're wasting your time and your own energy. Yeah, when you ejaculate and you release semen, in your semen you have so many vital nutrients and basically an energy that you're just throwing away. That is your life force. That is what you use to procreate, and you're just wasting it. You use that to procreate. You know how much energy is involved in the whole process of reproduction. So that is the starting point, is when you release semen. If you're doing that 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, you're draining yourself. You're draining your energy. Okay. So you don't want to do that. So there's many reasons on why you want to adopt the NoFap type lifestyle and stop the porn. And even look, the best case scenario, you don't do any of it. But the easiest one to do is stop watching porn. If you have to masturbate, then and you've got an addiction, you can't stop right away. Then you need to do it without watching porn. Yeah, so forget all the websites and block all those websites. Don't watch them. If you really have to masturbate, use your own mind to stimulate you. All right, use your own mind to stimulate you, or just do it without. Try to have an erection without doing anything. All right, just use your imagination only to see if you can do that, because you don't want a situation where you're constantly masturbating, and when it comes to a time when you have success with a woman, and then you can't perform. So you need to train yourself in able to get turned on without any porn, without any masturbation. But if you really need to masturbate, do it without porn, but use your own imagination to get a natural erection, and then do it. All right, so that is going to help you guys out there. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna have and also the fact is, when you stop masturbating for 7 days, your testosterone has a boost, according to so many studies out there. So you have a boost in testosterone after about a week. And also another thing which is going to sound strange, is that when I stopped masturbating and watching porn years ago, I noticed that first of all I had much more enthusiasm for life. I had more energy. I was more motivated. I was more of a go-getter. I did things. But also I've noticed as well that when you're not in that mode where you're chasing sex, because that's all it is. When you're masturbating, it means that you're chasing sex. You want sex, but you can't get it with a woman, so you're doing it. So once you eliminate that chase for sex, that desire for sex, you notice that more women start coming, maybe not coming to you, but at least noticing you more. They're giving you more eye contact. They're giving you more smiles. They're giving you more signals that, you know, that you're someone that they like. So that's another strange side effect when you do it. Is from my own experience, that's what I've noticed, is the fact that you have, and also it improves your success with women. Yeah, so the fact that you're not chasing sex anymore, and it's not always on your mind, and you're kind of moved past that. It kind of give, you know, you have a certain behavior, like a high value masculine male behavior, and women notice this, and they actually start noticing you more, and they start giving you signals, and it improves your success with attracting women. It actually makes you more attractive, in my experience. You know, I don't know what it is, I don't know what happens with it, but you know, it's incredible. So what I'd say is, you guys try it out. You don't want any situations where you can't perform in the bedroom. That's the worst thing that a guy can go through sexually. You know, not being able to perform with a woman, and not being able to pleasure a woman and enjoy the interaction, enjoy the whole process. So, you know, you don't want that. So hopefully this video helps you guys, and if you feel it did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to see a video from me, if you have a request, please leave a comment down below. And also leave a comment if you have any experience with death grip. If you know, if anything's happened in your own situation where you couldn't perform, or you watch too much porn, let me know what your thoughts are on this video in the comments down below. And like I said, any requests, you know, leave a comment down below, and I'll make a video as soon as I can. If you hit the bell notification as well, then you will see the video as soon as they are uploaded. And also, if you can, please follow me on Instagram, and there's a lot of good content on there. You can even message me direct if you want a coaching session by yours truly. So if you need my help directly, you can contact me for a Skype coaching session, and I shall see you soon.